So after only a few days, the OnePlus Open has become my favorite foldable to use for one big reason. It actually leads to a few different things that are going on with this device. And the big reason is it feels like it was designed by people who have used folds in the past. And that might sound silly, but it makes a huge difference to the device. So the one thing, the misconception, and a lot of people aren't making this, but I just want to make this clear to everybody out there. This might be the first OnePlus branded foldable, but it's most certainly not a first generation product. This is basically or essentially the Oppo Find N3. So it's their third generation foldable, and they made some other ones as well. So they've had some of that DNA in there, and with some experience to build off of. But the things that I see in this device are things that I would have loved to have seen on either the Pixel Fold or one of the many iterations we've had now of the Galaxy Fold series. And they're interesting because if you were to hand me this device without any branding, and I was just able to use it, and you told me, you know what, this is the Fold 6, I wouldn't be shocked by that. I wouldn't think it was a wholesale departure. If I were already a huge fan of the Fold series like I am, I wouldn't be disappointed. It wouldn't cause me to look at a Pixel Fold or another foldable. I would be pleased by this. And that should tell Samsung that it's okay to make some of these changes they've been hesitant to make. You could still hold on to your leadership position and not alienate the fans of the Fold series that you already have by making some creature comfort, quality of life improvements that add up to a really enjoyable experience. So let's talk about some of them. I still have my issues with the software, okay? OxygenOS, people have asked me in other videos and in the comment section, what's your problem with OxygenOS? It just, like that, there's flickers, there's glitches. That wasn't even particularly bad. There'll be times where I open it, hit the fingerprint sensor, it'll give me half a screen where it's half my lock screen of my cat, and then the other half, it's just a mess sometimes. It reminds me, and it's not anything functional, the speed and performance is still there. It reminds me a lot of LG software from back in the day. Kind of these happy accidents that would happen throughout the software that you just kind of got used to, the different quirks. So if you're used to it, if you don't really use anything else, that's not anything that's going to prevent you from enjoying the phone. It's just things that you look out for. So let's talk about the few things. Number one, when you open it up, more importantly when you use it outdoors, that anti-glare coating that they've put on top of the display makes a huge difference. I remember going back to my very first Fold, the Fold 2, taking it outdoors, and with the plastic top layer, you're going to get smudging, your hands are oily and all the rest of it, you're going to get fingerprints on it, and those are going to be prominent outdoors, especially in sunlight, no matter what. But when you add the glare on top of it, some of these screens get almost unusable unless you're sitting there cleaning them with an alcohol wipe or whatever you're allowed to use on these displays so it doesn't peel up on the side. But with the anti-glare, it takes a layer of that away. So it makes this device that much more usable outdoors, and it's just a welcome improvement. You add the brightness in with that, and this is a beautiful display to look at both indoors and out. Wider front display. Not a lot wider. It doesn't change the experience of the phone. It doesn't make it where it's something like a Pixel. That's what I'm talking about. It doesn't make it where it's something like a Pixel Fold, where it completely changes, I think, the profile of how you'd use both the outer and inner display. It's just 1/10 of an inch bigger. And they put the extra space where it mattered, made it wider. This is not a display that I then feel like I use 90% of the time, like the Pixel Fold display, but it's one that if I have to do quick stuff on here, I like it. I enjoy it. I can type comfortably. A Facebook scroll, an Instagram scroll, a Twitter feed. I got to respond to a message. Whatever it is, I can do it on this display comfortably. I don't feel cramped like I do sometimes on the Fold 5 display, but it's not overpowering like the Pixel Fold outer display where I feel the need to do stuff on there all the time. App Trios is a huge one. Samsung's been sitting on their lead for a long time with multitasking. But let me tell you what, this is the best multitasking fold out there because of App Trios. Let's see if we can pull one up here. I don't exactly have one saved, so we'll go ahead. I think I've used Discord before for this. So we're going to pull it up in a split screen. So I've got a split screen going on here. We got Discord over on the side. Let's go ahead, pull up Instagram. Okay. Then we can add one more to this. Oh, go ahead. go over here. Let's see what we want to add to this. We got Discord, we got that. Let's put Twitter over here. No, I did that wrong. But you know, I've done this before. You could add to it, and you could do the triple setup or the app trios and have them saved on the bottom here if you do it correctly and you add to the different ones here. But I love that. I love the functionality of that. I love to be able to switch through the different apps in between and have 3 on the screen at once, because you can have one big full screen one at the bottom, but you can have 2 of the smaller ones at the top, like Instagram and like Twitter, which is good. That's the thing I did wrong. You got to have a Discord one or a big one at the bottom and then add the other ones to it. So that's something that I really like. That's a simple change. It's software. It's something that Samsung would be able to implement pretty simply, and I think that it would make a huge difference to their multitasking experience. It's light and thin. It's not a brick in your pocket. It's, if you look at this device and you carry it around, it's just really nice to hold, nice hardware. But it's light and thin, but it doesn't sacrifice quality or stability. I don't feel like this is something that's going to snap in half. I don't feel like the hinge is cheap in any way because it's lighter and thinner. If anything, it's a very nice hinge because I've got that kind of spring action lock into place that I like on this device. So there's nothing, so even though it's a little thinner and the build quality you might question it, there's nothing sacrificed in terms of durability with this phone so far that I've noticed. Battery life, fantastic battery life. Well over 7 hours, 7.5 hours of screen on time, and that's without any sort of battery saving measures whatsoever. You just don't have them. I just don't. Screens at full blast, everything else. So if that's something that concerns you on these folds, which has been a problem for years, even on the Fold 5, it has good battery life. It has better battery life than it's had previously. This has even better battery life. And you look at the same chipset in this device. So that's something that I really look at and I've really enjoyed so far with the OnePlus Open. And all these things are things that Google can implement, Samsung can implement, but they've been hesitant to do so for whatever reason. But it's great to see a company and use a device that feels like it's people who have used, engineered by people who have used folds in the past. Hey, these are the things that frustrated us previously. These are the things that we wished other manufacturers would do, and then they went out and did it. And it really shows when you use it day to day, the kind of experience that you get and how enjoyable that experience is. Link in the description for this. As always, does help the channel. We are on the road to 20,000 subscribers. If I keep showing up in your recommended, please tussle that subscribe button. It does help out quite a bit. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time. Yeah, I don't know if I could warm to the software or not. Maybe I could. You know, like I said, LG, you came around to it. You kind of accepted the quirks, and it's one of those ones that you kind of loved to hate and used it anyway. So maybe if they could get to that point with the OxygenOS integrations, and we'll see about OxygenOS 14, if that cleans up any stuff. Maybe if we could get to that point of the software, then I'll feel better about it. But until next time, have that Steve-licious day.